Hello friends, welcome back to our channel. You are watching Learn and Grow with Ayan. Today we are going to discuss the lesson ICSE class 7 lesson first of biology, that is tissue. So let's start. So first is, you already know that the cell is the basic unit of life. In previous class we have studied that the cell is the basic unit and structural unit of life. A unicellular organism is made up of single cellular that performs all the life process. One unicellular organism is made up of only one cell and perform all the life process. A multicellular organism, on the other hand, is made up of different types of cells and carry out different functions. We are human beings and we are made up of different types of cells, so we are called unicellular organisms. Unicellular organisms. So what is cell? So a group of cells that are similar in structure and carry out a specific function form a tissue. As a group of cells, I will explain you. Suppose this is our skin. There are different types of chambers. Like that, there are different types of chambers. These chambers are called cells, and these lines are called cell. That is I will tell you one interesting thing. A group of cells form a tissue. A group of tissue form an organ, and a group of organ form an organ system. So there are two types of tissues: plant tissue and animal tissue. So in this video we are discussing only plant tissue. In next video we will discuss animal tissue. So plant tissue are broadly categorized into two: meristematic tissues and permanent tissue. Meristematic tissue is made up of only small thin walled cells which may be spherical, oval or polygonal. So meristematic tissue is a type of tissue which is made up of a small thin, like this. This is a meristematic tissue. I will write big. There are different types of shapes, like this may be oval, spherical or polygonal. So in meristematic tissue there are two types of tissues: apical meristem and lateral meristem. So apical meristem is responsible for the growth of the tip of the plant. Let us explain it. Suppose this is a tip of the plant. So here is present lateral apical meristem. This is called apical meristem. This is called apical meristem, and it is responsible for the growth of the tip of the plant. Suppose this is the soil and this is the plant, so it grows upwards, and this is the tip of the plant, so it grows upwards. So apical meristem is responsible for the growth of this tip. Now next is lateral meristem. Lateral meristem is the growth of the responsible for the sideways growth of the plant. This is one easy topic, lateral meristem. And this is our plant. This is a stem. Then we have leaves, fruit, many other things, buds. So these leaves and fruits, buds are grown through lateral. So these leaves are grown through which type of tissue? Lateral meristem. So this, and I talk. This is not present in your book, but I am telling you that when a plant grows, its stem is very thin. But when it started to grow, its stem became like fed. Yes. So this growth is possible only by cambium. And if there is cambium, lateral growth is also possible. If there is no cambium, lateral growth would not be possible. So let us move to our next topic, that is permanent tissue. Now, permanent tissue is divided into two: simple permanent tissue and complex permanent tissue. So first we study about permanent tissue. Most of the cells formed by the meristem ultimately become mature and lost its ability to divide further. Permanent tissues are tissues that cannot be divided, ultimately became mature and cannot divide into further more tissue. In previous class we have studied that cells can be divided into other cells, but this is also about tissues. But simple permanent tissue is one tissue that cannot be divided into. So let us study about simple permanent tissue. Simple permanent tissue are of three types: parenchyma, collenchyma, and sclerenchyma. Let us write on the board. Parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma. These are the three types of tissue in which simple permanent tissue. So first we study parenchyma. The cells of this tissue may be oval, spherical, or polygonal. This cell wall is thin and spacious. So the function of parenchyma is to fill up the spaces between the organs. This is our liver, and this is our stomach. Let us suppose. So parenchyma is that type of tissue that fills this space. This is the space between our stomach and liver. So this is filled by parenchymatous cells. So next is collenchyma. The cell of collenchyma thick walled and elongate with oblique tapping and intracellular section. They look circular, oval, or polygonal. There are no intercellular spaces as pectin, a type of other disposal between cells. In collenchyma cells, there are no spaces between this type of tissue. Let us suppose this is collenchyma. This is one tissue. These are collenchyma tissue. There is no space between them, but a type of carbohydrate, pectin, is supposed between them, so they cannot move here and there. Now next is sclerenchyma. Sclerenchyma is made up of dead cells and packed together. The cell is polygonal void. Sclerenchyma is a type of dead cells. Parenchyma and collenchyma transport their dead cells to sclerenchyma, and a type of liquid called lignin holds the sclerenchymatous cells together. This is sclerenchyma is tissue is responsible for the growth of the plant and strength of the plant. Growth and strength of the plant. Let us suppose this is the stem of the plant, and in this, suppose this is the stem. It is the inner part of the. These are sclerenchyma. It is responsible for the growth of the plant and strength of the plant. So let us move to our next topic, that is complex permanent tissue. There are two types of complex permanent tissue: xylem and phloem. Xylem contains water and minerals from roots to the leaves. What is xylem? Suppose this is our plant. I am drawing roughly. This is the leaves. This is the fruit. This is the bud. So, and this is land, and this is roots. So xylem is a type of tissue. It is present in plant stem in this and roots. So if under the soil there are many types of minerals, carbohydrates, proteins and water. So xylem transports the carbohydrates and minerals etc. to the all with the help of stem. First it is absorbed by root, then it is goes to stem, and then it is supplied to the leaves and fruit. That helps to for the growth of the other plants, leaves, stems and buds. So let us move. Okay, so next topic is phloem. Phloem is responsible for transport to the food of plants, food to the different parts of life. You already know who makes food. A leaf makes food. So xylem is present in all over the plant's body. So its function is to transport food. Phloem transport food to all plants, all parts of the body, all parts of the plant body. So there is one interesting activity that shows xylem. So let us discuss the activity. Take some water in a glass and add red food color to it. Cut off a branch of balsam, gul mehndi or kanchan with an intact white flower. Dip it in the water. Check the branch after 2-3 hours. You will find that the color has spread to the flowers, turning petal reddish. The leaves and the stem will also streak with color. Xylem vessels inside the branch transport the colored water through the branch, turning all the structures red. Remove the branch with the help of your teacher. Strip the branch lengthwise and the xylem vessel will be visible as long as there is reddish streak inside the branch. So let us discuss this activity. In this activity, it is said that cut off a branch of gul mehndi or gul mohar and add some water in a beaker or a bucket and add red color and mix it well. Then cut off the branch with, remember that the branch has white flowers. Dip the branch into that red liquid, and after 2-3 hours the white flowers will become reddish. So today's session is end. I will come with your next remaining part of the lesson. I will explain in the next video. Remember that day after tomorrow we have a live stream. The timing I will mention in the second video.